Hold on. Before you watch any further, I want you to know where you are and why you're here. This is Mbuji-Mayi, the third largest city in the massive Democratic Republic of Congo. You may have noticed that the city is pretty rural. Most roads are unpaved, and walking is the most common form of transportation. But here we are in a car. Now, doesn't that seem a tad conspicuous? Maybe, but the fact that we're here is conspicuous in and of itself. The only way to get here is by plane, and the tickets cost way more than the majority of Mbuji-Mayi's citizens could afford. There's a very noticeable economic gap here, and the fact that we're visiting at all makes it very apparent which side of the gap we occupy. Mbuji-Mayi's development and economy have been driven by Miba, a diamond mining company which runs much of the town. Unfortunately for Mbuji-Mayi, Miba's financial difficulties since the First Congo War in the 90s have created economic troubles for nearly everyone, leaving the town entirely without running water and often without consistent electricity. Oh, and maybe I should also mention that I'm not supposed to be filming any of this. But I'm breaking the rules a little bit because I want to let some incredible women speak for themselves and share what they have to say with you. No one knows the circumstances these women face as well as they do, and no one is as qualified to share their thoughts, stories, and ideas as they are. So it's for them that I'm breaking the rules, and for you. I'm breaking the rules because I want you to meet 3 brilliant young women, Gracia, Corinne, and Sarah, and give them the chance to share their viewpoints with you directly.
Racine carrée de 17 sur V. Merci. J'ai fini, n'est-ce pas, mes élèves? Ok. Prochainement.
N'oubliez pas de choisir votre responsable. Je veux vous demander.
I've traveled here with Sandra Bea, founder of the non-profit Muanjadi organization and expatriate of the Congo herself. Muanjadi means brave woman in Chiluba, a dialect spoken in Mbuji-Mayi alongside the national language of French. The Muanjadi organization provides scholarships to a number of students at the Muanjadi High School, a private all-female institution in Mbuji-Mayi. For these scholars, the alternative would likely be to drop out of school and into an arranged marriage, often between the ages of 13 and 15. Sandra graduated from the Muanjadi High School herself, and then went on to receive her teaching certification, completing her student teaching hours at her alma mater. It is Sandra's tireless drive and heart of gold that have made the Muanjadi organization a reality, and Sandra inspires me with her ceaseless work on behalf of her handpicked Muanjadi organization scholars.
16, ça nous donne 17. Racine carrée de delta égale racine carrée de 17.
My name is Sandra Bea, and I am the founder of Muanjadi organization. Muanjadi organization is a non-profit organization who's helping girls in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We are empowering them by educating them and paying the tuition so they can finish their high school and maybe also go to college. 10 years ago, I remember when I was teaching in the Muanjadi High School, I had girls leaving the classroom or not coming back every 2 weeks. And I got tired of it. And I asked them, why do we have girls not coming back? And then they said, you know, one stood up and said, they are not coming back because they're getting married. And then I asked them, why? And they said, Madam, because we cannot afford it as you can. So, because they can't. That's why, you know, we are just getting married. Then I realized that something has to be done. So I left the Democratic Republic of the Congo with that sentence. I have to do something for them. I think it's really, really important to educate a woman, because when you have one woman who's educated and she has a minimum of 6 kids, she will make sure that her 6 kids is gonna go to school. So from 1 we go to 6, and then the 6 kids, because she showed them that they need the education, the 6 kids gonna do the best for the kids, their own kids. So from 6 we can easily go to 25. So we went from 1 to 5 and to 25. So it's really, really much easier to educate a woman, because she can pass that on. And also, I think it's really important to educate women in the Congo, especially in Mbujimai, because they're gonna be able to become what I want. They can dream. The dream is to be a very important person, you know, most of them, which means that they want to be, to work in the government. So for that, they have to go and have an education to be able to work in the government. It would be awesome to see more than 10 women in the government. That would be great. That would be awesome. And I think the 10 can come from the Muanjadi. So that's actually why I think it's really, really important.
Moi, je m'appelle Gracia Kapingan Ponga. Je suis en 6e nutrition.
Oh, I want to be, my dream is to be a VIP, a very important person in the country. It's my dreams in my school. So I like all the lessons, but especially English. Yes, I love English so much because it is my dreams. Yes, my dreams is to speak English very well.
En fait, je m'appelle Karine Kabishi.
My name is Karine Kabishi, and I'm a college student at the Teaching Institute of Bujimai, the ISP. I'm majoring in mathematics and logic, and I hope to be a teacher.
C'est un peu ça.
Je commence par me présenter.
I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Sarah Mbia. I am a student at Muanjadi High School and a Muanjadi scholar. I'm 16 years old, so I'll be a junior soon. My concentration in high school is reception and hospitality.
Je passe maintenant en 5e au test d'accueil.
So what I can say, in Congo, a lot of girls want to study, but there is no way for them to study. If there is a person who can help them, it would be very good.
À l'école, j'aime beaucoup étudier.
I truly love studying, and I love coming to school. When I can't go to school, I feel sad. I like school because it gives me more courage with which to charge into the future. It's difficult to watch what's happening in our country, but when I leave school, I'll be able to drive myself more, to be stronger in life.
Dans ma vie. Oui, il y a des expériences difficiles. C'est que quand je regarde.
In my life, I have had some difficult experiences. I'd prefer to give you an example.
Tu vois, nos parents, n'ont pas eu la chance.
You see those parents who haven't the experience of studying, who encourage their children to study because they didn't have the chance. It's about balancing them out, shifting away from their example.
Ce temps-là de passer dans des écoles. Et c'est ce que j'aimerais faire. J'aimerais aussi étudier.
I want to study so that my children and me don't turn out that way, so that we can grow together under good conditions. With education, we can parent differently than our parents did in the past. Everyone deserves to study and to have a good base of knowledge in order to have a complete intellectual maturity.
Pour avoir donc une maturité complète intellectuelle, c'est ça. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank everyone who has helped us to stay in school for doing all they have to support and help us, despite our difficult situation. For that, I just want to give a huge thank you and even a hug. I hope that much good will come to them in return for their kindness, because they have done so much for us.
So I can ask the persons who have got a good heart to pay for us in school to continue like this, to continue with this, because we want to study, but there is no way. There is no way, yes.
Above all, the problems that hurt Bujimai the most are the low education levels. There are parents who don't want their children to study, especially their daughters. Even though they suffer, they lack the means to improve their situation. When a girl reaches age 15 or 16, her parents might say to her, "No, we have to marry you off because we need your daughter in order to eat." It's very emotional seeing someone who not only doesn't want their daughter to study, but who wants for their daughter to get married as soon as possible, even though marriage below the age of 18 is prohibited. It's against the law. But when parents become afraid for their family's ability to eat, they're much more likely to marry off their daughter to get her dot and survive. I'm not lacking in ideas to improve the community. Above all, I would ask those willing to help to raise awareness. An awareness raiser would really help the young people like me who want to study but don't necessarily have the means. I'd sincerely ask you to raise awareness about this issue because it's really important.
The first year we didn't have girls who wanted to go to college, but after 2 years we had girls, who asked to go to college. The plan for Muanjadi organization was at least to make sure that they can finish the high school. But after the second year, we had girls, they came and they said, "Madam, I don't want to stop there. I want to go to college." We didn't plan that, but we also felt bad to have girls asking to go to college and not being able to. So we were like, you know what, we're gonna go to college also. So we had 1 girl, and today we have 6 girls. So for us, we are really improving. So the more we have more girls now wanting to go to college, which is amazing, which is really great. I went to Bujimai because we had 50 girls, 50 scholars. So that year, when I was giving the scholarship to the girls, I called 1 girl, but the week before I got in Bujimai, she passed away because she was sick. So I went with the girls in the classroom and I talked to them, I explained to them what we are doing and what we are expecting from them. I didn't realize that another girl was waiting for me outside. When we did leave the home, I have 1 girl who came up to me and she said, "Madam, you didn't choose me." And then I asked her, "What's your name?" And she said, "Karine Kabishi." I told her I remember that name. She was like, "I am so sorry. I really need it." Since I had the one, I told her, "I'm gonna give you a chance. So this is your scholarship. Show me that you really want it." And she did prove that to me. And today, she passed the first year, she's going to the second year of college. And I'm very, very proud of her because she's doing a really amazing job in her college.
So, like I told you, I study at the ISP. I truly love math, and I've always loved teaching. I would love to teach math and logic, to be a big teacher one day, and help all my students to understand these subjects, because they're what I love most about school.
To be a woman in Bujimai, it's not easy. To be a wife, it's much harder. Because when you're a girl, you're still under control of your dad. And then when you get married, so you go from being on control, from your dad to your husband. You still, control, so your husband can still control you. So there is stuff in, Mbujimai, or women in Mbujimai cannot do without asking, not talking about, but asking the husband to do. So if the husband say no, they're still not gonna say, they're still not gonna do it because he said no.
Because a lot of persons don't consider the woman as a person. I don't know why. So it's very hard. Very hard. And I can say that a lot of girls in Congo don't study because they don't consider them as a person.
With the education, they are not only asking, but they're trying to have like a conversation, so we can try to figure out, and he can try to understand exactly what she is trying to do. With not education, he said, no, we are not gonna ask anything else. But with the education, because you're learning more, you're learning how to analyze stuff. So you are more open to do that with your husband when you have your education.
It really promotes equality when everyone is allowed to experience the positive effects of education. When this isn't the case, I don't think it's as likely that it will be an equal relationship. Education gives you a certain maturity. Like, for me, it's shown me what I'm capable of. For people who haven't had the opportunities I have, it's all too easy to just give up and say no. But a woman truly does have something to contribute to society. You could see an educated woman who is married, but whose husband hasn't gone to school. He won't let her work outside the home, and he won't respect her because he hasn't had the full benefit of an education. I don't think there would be any equality in a relationship like that. At least there are a few men who do respect women as equals, but for the most part, it's a very small percentage that gives women any value.
There is more respect, definitely. There is more respect. There is more. They are more open-minded when they know that you have education, that you went to school. That's why it's very, very important for them to be educated.
Je dirais, pour Mbujimai, beaucoup de gens doivent d'abord changer leur.
In Mbujimai, what people need to change first is their mentality. Because if they refuse to change their mentality, anything else you could do would just be in vain. The mentality has to change first because it's the mentality that makes the person. There are parents who don't really understand the importance of a girl in the family. You'll often see, in a family of sons and daughters, that the parents pay tuition only for the boys, because they think that their sons will grow the family line while the daughters are just fated to go off and marry quietly outside the spotlight. They have less importance to them, and it's therefore less important to pay their tuition. So our parents first must change their mentality. If you're watching TV, films, or series, you might see men and women being treated equally. This can be important in shaping mentality. We take an interior moral lesson from everything we watch for pleasure, and it can permit us to improve our intelligence, our wisdom, and to think more of the future. Basically, it encourages us to contemplate.
D'améliorer notre intelligence, notre sagesse, de penser un peu à l'avenir.
To help people change their mentalities, I believe that we have to talk about it. People start talking, parents talk to other parents, and soon people begin to understand the importance of a girl in the family. Women aren't good only for marriage. They can be influential figures in society. Their status can rise, they can become bosses in the office, and so on. So that's what we have to do, is talk. We must insist. We must tell parents to stop just keeping their girls at home. Even if their circumstances are difficult, there are ways to overcome it. One such way being the Muanjadi organization. With help, we can get more girls in school and give them the means to escape the house and succeed.
Also, what Muanjadi organization try to show them is to give back to the community. So now they understand that they have to give back.
Because in our country there are a lot of persons who are very poor. There is no way for them to study. And if God help me, I will help them. Our father works, but they don't pay them. We have got a difficulty for to pay the money in school, but you help us. And we have got again a difficulty for to come in school, because we coming in foot. And we live very far. We help them with the money, for example, for to give in the school. Yes, I will do it.
Every year, when they receive the scholarship, they have to go and help for a week in an orphanage. Why? Because they know that, they have to give back. They know that, I didn't have to create Muanjadi organization, but I did for them. So they realize that they have to do that for others. I met a woman. She explained to me that she has a girl, and that girl was living on the street. She asked her what she can do, and the girl said, I can braid. She said, okay, you can braid my hair, and I'm gonna pay for you to go to school. She did that for a year, and then the woman could not afford to send her. And then the girl, she was going to Muanjadi High School, and she said, there is a non-profit organization at school where you can apply and maybe I can get a scholarship. She said, please go and then do it. And the girl did, and she got it. She is very, very happy that she got first the opportunity to have that woman paying for her to go to school. So she can have that chance, because Muanjadi organization right now is working only with Muanjadi High School. So I think it's amazing to see that, women understand that, it's great to give back to the community and to support each other.
Oui, l'éducation pour les filles c'est important parce qu'on dit d'abord.
Girls' education is important because, as they say, to educate a woman is to educate a nation. When girls are allowed to finish school before marrying, they can learn first how to live well in the community, to dream, to test themselves, to know themselves and to know their strengths. And a girl's education is very important because she will be the mother of the family.
Connaître soi-même, connaître ses propres efforts et ses propres faiblesses. Tu vois ça? Et une fille, son éducation est très importante parce que
she'll be able to better care for her family, to ensure that it has what it needs to solve its problems, its debates, etc. So because of that, it's especially important to educate women, because to educate a woman truly is to educate a nation.
Parce qu'on dit que éduquer une fille, c'est éduquer toute une nation. Oui. Ce qui me rend triste beaucoup plus dans mon pays, c'est que
what makes me sad is that there are many girls like me, many young people who want to study but don't have the means. They suffer quite a bit. Someone may want to study, but their family does not have the means because of the tuition fees. This makes me very sad. When a person who has the desire to study cannot attend school due to the tuition, it's very upsetting. And many in this situation are orphans who don't have homes or even anywhere to sleep, which is even sadder.
Alors, à propos de vos questions,
on the subject of your question about how the Muanjadi organization can help the community more, I have an idea that I'd like to suggest. I mentioned earlier that to truly help the girls at the Muanjadi High School and to prepare them well, I think that especially for the Muanjadi scholars who live far from the school, many struggles could be alleviated if they were to live here together. We have a dormitory here at the school, and if we could fix it up, then the girls who live farther away could live here together in order to study better. For the girls who live far away, they leave the campus and have to walk a long time, sometimes even a few hours, and they get home very late. Those who live closer really do have an advantage in this regard and have a better chance to prepare academically. If you have a huge distance to walk, that can really prevent you from having a chance to study and review the material for your classes. And walking a long distance is a physical strain as well. Fatigue can also impede your ability to study well. Therefore, if the girls in these situations could live together in the dormitory, that would help them to be able to prepare better for class. At home, there can just be too many things you have to do, such as helping your parents, so it can be hard to find the time to study. But here, the school can really help us, and there are several ways the Muanjadi organization could help us get the resources necessary to make running the dormitory feasible again. For example, the organization could reach out to those in the community who could provide us with fruit for breakfast. So in this way, the Muanjadi organization and the school could work together to give the scholars who live far a fair chance to study well and to advance towards the future.
Even
If here in the school there is some place which is reserved for the pupil to study well, but this place we have to pay money. Yes, we have to pay money, but there's no way. Yes, if they can help us to pay this money for the people who are studying here and didn't have the way to eat, they can stay here to study well and eat. For some people that are hungry, there's no way for them to study well. Someone can be intelligent, but they didn't eat. There's no way for them to study well.
Je ne pense pas. Parce que d'abord, c'est la volonté de la personne.
Above all, it's the desire of the individual. If you want to study badly enough, you don't even think about the distance to and from school, because that distance is what it takes to get the chance to improve your own life. If you look at it that way, it's a small price to pay. What's stopping many girls from studying is the tuition. It's money more than anything. Because if you have the desire to learn but lack the means, what are you to do? There's nothing you can do. You have to stay at home and simply help your parents around the house. You might have a wish to go to school. You can go cry to your parents about it, but that's no solution, because dad has nothing and mom has nothing, and eventually you just get this attitude of I can't.
Alors je compte rester à la maison, mieux vaut que j'aille faire demi-tour, partir à l'école et me renvoie, je rentre.
And it won't get you very far just to help your parents forever, just to continue selling little things here and there. I believe that kind of income can suffice for food for the family, but it's not likely to be enough to pay tuition. It won't go any farther than just the food. I can walk to school and return home to help my parents with what I can, and that might feed me, but it'll never be enough to pay for my school expenses.
Ça sera mieux que je reste à la maison, aider les parents à faire les petites activités pour me nourrir, mais ça ne sera pas payer le minerval de mon école. Oui, c'est ça.
When it began in 2009, the Muanjadi organization collected enough money to sponsor 6 girls. Today, it sponsors 145, including 6 in college. If you're interested in helping a Muanjadi student stay in school this year, you can visit www.muanjadi.org for more information. It costs $75 to sponsor a girl for 1 year at the Muanjadi High School, and about $250 a year for college. There are no binding contracts. Your contribution could make a world of difference to a young woman like Gracia, Kareem, or Sarah. In a world of unfair policies and difficult economic barriers, it becomes all the more clear that to educate a woman is to educate a nation.